Y'all about Shimmy out shot back a thumb to all the Akim out there, man. To the hopeful elect first. All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. This is Brother Hashem Yah from the Indiana GMS Indiana camp. All right, I'm gonna hit a little quick sit down, man. First and foremost, I want to give no honors to the elder apostles, man, of GMS, in whom the truth resides. All right, and peace and blessings be multiplied to you Akim out there that's laboring, man, in this truth, man. All right, yeah, man. I was watching this video. I watched it last week. Actually, I wanted to speak on it then, but the spirit didn't spirit didn't permit it. And I woke up this morning and I ran into Elder Apostle Gabar's video about the conversation him and Elder Tahar had about the word erudite, which I've heard the word before too. But I'm gonna let him. He expounds on it beautifully. And then I want to go into this video, man, with these fucking coons and Umar Johnson. I'm not gonna call him doctor, man, because even though we know that brother's set up, man, brother has knowledge, man. He speaks a lot of what we speak, but he goes off, man, because he teaches that Pan African bullshit. How do you have all this education, man, and you don't know? I know through all your walk through your getting your education, your degrees, you have ran across the battle of the Second Punic War, man, between Hannibal and Leo Scipios Africanus. So I know that continent is named after Leo Scipios Africanus, man. So that's a flag already on you now, man. That you set up, man. All right, you get these platforms on these shows and shit, man, and you're erudite, man. Because not like the apostle said, man, knowledge puffeth up, man. Okay, let me go into the video a little bit, and I'll get back and we'll get some scriptures. All right.
That is the point. And there's nothing wrong with looking foolish. Okay, it's not all about looking.
Slack it. We go back a little bit.
But it can also mean lacking refinement or uncivilized. So someone who is erudite, therefore, has been transformed. What does the scripture say about us being transformed? We became what? The new man, right? We went from being uninformed to being informed. And that is the state of being erudite. Let's read on. It says, someone who is erudite, therefore, has been transformed from a roughened or uninformed state to a polished and knowledgeable one through a devotion to learning. And all of us that are sincere, we are all devoted to what? Learning. Learning what? Learning the knowledge.
Which the apostle is talking about learning of this truth, man. All right. Now, later on, he mentioned that the word erudite, man, it could cause one to be proud, man. Which Umar Johnson he's a proud nigga, bro. He has knowledge, okay? And all them niggas that's on Roland Martin's panel, man, is fucking coons, man. And this nigga gets a platform on his little show, which I did the research on that. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it all out. All right. Let me let the apostle speak a little more, and then I'm gonna go to the video.
Of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Thereby we're becoming erudite. But you have to become erudite in a right sense, in a sense of humility. Okay? Because there are those that become erudite in the sense of foolishly proud. Okay? And that's the statement that Elder Apostle Tar was making. Even though he didn't say all those words, when he said it's not about being erudite, meaning it's not about being foolishly proud while becoming erudite. And that's what we're seeing in certain individuals, even in Great Millstone. You have to guard against that. That's why it is written, you have to examine yourself. So as you listen to this lesson here, examine yourself, all you brothers, and see whether as you become erudite, you're becoming foolishly proud. And you better believe I examine myself. And that's why I'm doing this lesson, because I don't want to convey the attitude that it's all about being erudite in my lessons. Okay? I mean, you hear the way I speak and you hear the way I talk. that's the way I am. That's how. And this individual as a novice, meaning new to the faith, you really got to guard against. As you learn in this great knowledge, one is not careful, one would tend to become overly proud. Now let's look up that word puffeth, especially if you're younger studying. Now the thing about knowledge is, and this is why Apostle Elder Tarr made that statement, the thing about knowledge is knowledge puffs you up. And if you're not careful, as we gain this knowledge, and we're gaining the greatest knowledge on the planet Earth, there's no doubt about that, and it tends to make one foolishly proud.
Okay, Con. All right. Well, I'm gonna cut off this video because, like I said, the apostle is basically talking about the knowledge of this truth. Okay, but I wanted to just hit on that the word erudite makes one proud, man. Which that's what the world conveys because they go out and get the world's knowledge, man, and you can see it on this nigga. These niggas ooze with pride, man. All right, because they think they know something. All right, let me go on the video now. We got a little pause.
All right, folks. Dr. Umar Johnson recently was on 105.1 FM out of New York Club with DJ Envy, Angela Yee, and Charlemagne the God. During the interview, Johnson talked about a whole range of issues. It led to him being the talk of Black Twitter last week, and a lot of people were questioning his educational credentials.
Now, people ask me, what can we expect from a Donald Trump White House for Black America? And the answer is real simple. You can expect exactly what you got from a Obama White House. Absolutely nothing. Black people know they're not American, but they will fight like hell to protect that identity because they don't want to be identified with.
Now, he just said black people know they're not American, but they'll fight to protect that identity. Okay, well, what about Africa, man? You saying you're African? Okay, it doesn't matter because this land got its name from Amerigo Vespucci, which the continent was named after him. The land was named after Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, the same thing with Africa. You're calling yourself African, man, which that name came from Leo Scipios Africanus. So you can clearly see that the knowledge that this brother has, man, has puffed him up, man. He's going on these shows, man, and he's promoting whatever he's trying his agenda. Later on in Roland Martin's show, he's gonna say he's trying to promote a school. Okay, again, you know, what's scripture? Have a form of knowledge, having a form of godliness, but denying the slacking. I'm gonna get it because I don't want to butcher it. But this brother is definitely, man. You can see the pride oozing off of this brother, man. All right, let's just watch some more.
Who they really are, and that's being African. As long as you have a skill, you can always feed your family. But if all you got is college degrees, you might end up in the unemployment line. I'm a psychologist. Ain't too many black people running around looking for a psychologist to reveal all the skeletons in their closet.
All right, folks, joining us right now, Dr. Umar Johnson. Welcome back to the show. First and foremost, it was amazing looking at this whole reaction. I mean, I'm sitting here, again, people asking all kind of questions, things are blowing up. And so many people jumped on saying he's not a real doctor, okay? Where did you graduate from and you got your PhD?
My undergraduate education was from Millersville University. 3 degrees, political.
Look at the pride. That's why he naming his degrees. Just watch this. Just look at how this motherfucker move. Everything about him. He's erudite, man. That's why this was such a beautiful thing. I woke up and seen the Apostles video. Hold on.
Science, psychology, master's in school psychology. Subsequent to that, Pennsylvania certification as a school psychologist, which I've been for almost 20 years. After that, I got my educational leadership master's degree and principal certificate from Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I earned my doctorate degree from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, American Psychological Association approved program, one of the top psychology training programs on the East Coast. 6 degrees in all, And anyone can lift up a telephone and call and verify those degrees.
Look at,
So
he's loving
when
that
you
shit,
see
man.
folks who question your degrees, your response?
It's because my narrative is a whole lot different from the average mainstream black scholar. I don't parrot the narrative that the American social order wants black scholars to parrot. I tell the truth. I don't scratch unless I itch, and I don't dance unless I like the music. And because they're not used to having someone with a traditional education posit non-traditional views, people will automatically start to question his credentials. How did he get this far believing what he believes in? Well, you have to play the spook who sat by the door. When I got accepted into those 3 universities, they didn't know what I believed in. They didn't know what I stood for. But as time went on, it revealed itself. But I'm unapologetically African, so I'm not really concerned with what people think about me personally. I have a job to do, and that is to awaken the sleeping consciousness of African people, not just in America, but all across the world.
One of the things that you said during the interview, you said that Mandarin was one of the official languages in South Africa.
Yes, sir.
And others said you were dead wrong.
Yes, because I didn't clarify that I was speaking of it being an official language in the public school system of South Africa. So I should have clarified that Mandarin is an official language in the Republic of South Africa's school system. It's not an official language in the country, it's an official language in the school system. And I was speaking of schools, but I didn't clarify that, so that's my responsibility.
Also, during that particular interview, you talked about a variety of issues that also got people talking. One of them dealt with your views on interracial marriage.
Yes, sir.
And so, so explain.
Which this here is actually scriptural. Because, like I said, we don't supposed to be fucking loving these heathens. But I'm going to get to my point. This is the part of the video that I want to speak on. Well, this and that part that he was so prideful and shit earlier. He just spoke about his degrees. All right, hold on.
That for folks who did not hear it.
Certainly. Simply put, any black man who is with a woman who's not an African herself is going to have a difficult time getting respect from me.
But not African, but Israelite. He can be with any Israelite woman.
I believe black men need to be with black women. The black family is under attack. Only 1 out of every 4 black women gets married. The black woman is last likely to get married. She's the last married, the first divorced. We have 2/3 of our children being raised by working class and impoverished single black female-led house homes. The destruction of a nation begins in the home of its families. And if we want to save black people, we have to save the black family. And in order to do that, black men have to commit themselves to black women.
So when you talk about not getting your respect, so if that's the case, you're saying President Barack Obama to get your respect because his dad married a white woman?
Oh, not at all.
Would Harry Belafonte?
Not at all. I want to be very clear about something. As Pan-Africanists, the product of an interracial union is an African. I have heroes who are biracial. Some of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism were of mixed racial ancestry. You don't blame a child for how they got here.
But I'm asking you this here. Harry Belafonte has a white wife. No respect for him?
It would be very. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your social status.
So no. That's his social. I'm talking about the one who put the work.
Right, but you put him out.
No. I'm asking you. So Harry Belafonte.
Yes, sir.
Sidney Poitier, Julian Bond, Vernon Jordan.
And you're naming all them to say what?
No, these are all African American men who have
done some good things.
No, who married white women. But you said any black man who marries a white woman will not get your respect.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
And what I'm telling you is this: I don't care who you name. I don't care how much work you did for black people. Your greatest commitment to black people is being committed to a black woman. It is still a contract.
What the fuck? It's like it, man. My fucking phone be fucking tripping.
Not to build himself as a descendant, but he doesn't correct.
Didn't think enough about your own people to marry a woman who looks like you.
Frederick Douglass.
Yes, sir. An ancestor of mine.
So when you say ancestor, what does that mean?
Let me break it down.
Because again, some have said you.
Boy, this nigga prideful as hell, man.
You tried to claim that you are a descendant of Frederick Douglass.
Okay, so let's deal with that.
So hold on 1 second. Here's a statement from the family. Let me go ahead and read this, please. The family of Frederick Douglass has received numerous inquiries about Umar Johnson questioning his relationship to Frederick Douglass. There have also been questions about his legitimacy of his PhD and the handling of the donations he's received for his school that he is promoting. We can tell you with 100% certainty that he is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass. With that being said, Mr. Johnson is very careful not to bill himself as a descendant, but he doesn't correct people when they refer to him in this way. He calls himself a blood relative, which is a nebulous reference designed to make people think he is a descendant. We have researched his explanation of being a blood relative to the great abolitionist. Some of the information he provides is accurate, but an extremely important piece of his explanation with regards to a documented relative of Frederick Douglass is false. The information he recites correctly is from the public record, so his knowledge of our family ancestry is far from definitive proof.
Two things there.
Man, come on, shit.
And from that union I was born. I am a blood of Bailey. I am not married in. But they're biographies of Frederick Douglass. He talks about growing up on Tuckahoe Creek with cousin Stephen.
It's like it.
From definitive proof.
Two things there. One, he's not a descendant of Frederick Douglass. Okay? I would concur with that. All right? But then, two, you also heard that some of the things he says is correct. So the question becomes, he's either related or he's not. Okay?
So are you related?
I'm about to answer your question.
Okay.
Allow me to do that. I am a blood relative of Frederick Douglass. My name is on the family tree. We have a family reunion every 2 years. What they're talking about, I want to make sure you're clear. They're talking about whether or not I come through the loin of Frederick Douglass, which I do not, nor have I ever claimed. Okay? I have more videos on YouTube than any other scholar. I speak around the world more than any other scholar. Show me where I've ever said I was a descendant. I've only claimed one thing, kinsman. How am I kinsman? If you ever read any of the autobiographies of Frederick Douglass, he talks about growing up on Tuckahoe Creek with cousin Stephen. Cousin Stephen is Stephen Bailey, Dr. Umar Johnson's 4 times great-grandfather, whose grave I just visited last week. I go every year. Okay, that's my 4 times great-grandfather. He married my 4 times great-grandmother, Caroline Wilson Bailey. From that union came my 3 times great-grandfather, George Washington Bailey, the first black public school teacher on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. He married Grandmom Annie. They had Grandmom Caroline. Okay, she had Grandma Vivian. Grandma Vivian married a Spanish-speaking Cuban immigrant, Grandpop Cicero. They had Grandmom Ida.
Now you hear how this dude. It's just so much, man, on this video, bro. This dude is naming the descendants as grand. He's going down the descendant line, man, with the women. What the fuck is wrong with it? See, hey, man, this is why, hey, man. When you have it, now he's erudite, but he's not knowledgeable in what he's saying. He's talking to somebody that don't know. You know, Roman Martin don't know about lineage. You know, majority of people don't know about lineage. That's why Apostle said, man, that we're learning the greatest knowledge there is, man, because our knowledge is in depth and it's on point. All right, you know, you can't trace a lineage, man, through no fucking woman, man. You know, he's going grandma this, grandma that. Nigga, what your seed is what your father is, man. All right, let's hurry up and get to the point.
Who's still alive, who married James Johnson, who had my father Jamal, who married my mama Barbara, and from that union I was born. I am a blood of Bailey. I am not married in. What they're talking about is strictly descendancy, something I've never claimed. Am I a kin? Do I directly come from the loin of the first cousin and potentially half-brother of Frederick Douglass? And the reason I say potentially, the slave master who owned our family, a white man named Aaron Anthony, raped Frederick's mother and raped Stephen's mother, my ancestor. And there's significant evidence to suggest that. Some people could still argue, though, that they were not brothers because it's not conclusive. Fine, throw that out. I'm still a kinsman because I come through the blood of his first cousin.
You talk about, again, respect. Do you respect?
I don't talk about respect. I get tremendous respect from my people.
I'm not talking about that. Do you respect Frederick Douglass?
Obviously, yes.
But he had a white wife.
He did.
So That's what I'm sure.
I'm gonna clarify.
Why is that an issue? Why is that? If you put in the work and you have the history, who cares who you marry?
I already answered that question, and I told you I don't care how much work you put in. If you don't commit yourself to a black woman, ultimately you wasn't totally committed to the struggle.
Even Frederick Douglass.
Even Frederick Douglass has to be criticized, as I did on the Breakfast Club. Now it has to be put in context. He didn't marry the white woman until he was an old man. After his wife Anna Murray Douglas of 50 years, a blue-black chocolate woman through whom all my cousins were born. He was an old man when he did it, but nonetheless he did it. And yes, he has to be criticized on that, because a black man needs to be with a black woman, and it is a contradiction. I don't care how much work you think you've done for black folks to not commit yourself to a black woman.
Hold tight 1 second. I got more questions when we come back.
I would argue the reason black men marry white women is because they wish they were white themselves. And having the white man's prize, his queen, is a psychological symbol to myself that I am equal to him.
We're back with Dr. Umar Johnson. In that particular statement, the family also addressed this here. You talked about taking over the buildings or the land of a black school that was shut down.
Yes, sir.
HBCU
St.
campus.
Paul's College.
And you were raising money for it. First of all, how much money has been raised, and what's the status of that project?
Well, St. Paul's has been sold. Approximately 3 to 5 months ago, I was told by the auction company in charge of the sale that it was been sold to a developer.
So how much money was raised? What the people gave? All the people gave. How much was raised, and what's the status of that?
$700,000, and the status is we're still looking for a school, and the status is my start date for FDMG will be 8/21/18, or if at all, it may be delayed to 8/21/19, which is the anniversary of the Nat Turner War.
We say looking for a school. Why not start a charter school? I mean, you can start a school.
Because charter schools are owned by the state, and I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe what is to be done for black people must be done by black people. Why do I want a charter school?
So you want a private school?
Exactly. Independent school.
Lauren.
So the question of interracial marriage,
Yes,
I mean,
The white man's pit bull. Look at this dumb bitch, man.
come on, man. You're too smart for this. We got
Oh, what?
43.
I'm smart for what?
We got 43 million black people in this country.
And
We
that
got
means
over
what?
190 million white people.
Now, what black woman do you know wouldn't have been on Umar Johnson's side, man, on this issue, man? They get this coon ass, nothing ass bitch, bro. She's a fucking man.
You're gonna sit here and say that if
you
a
got
black
half the
person,
black
a white person get married, a black person, a white person get married, one can't understand the
And
other
she's a
person's
dyke
struggle.
bitch
You've
anyway.
seen,
You can read
you've
that
seen
spirit.
Tim Wise, right? You've seen Reverend
about
Wallace. You've seen
systematic
white people who
empowerment.
understand racism very well.
That doesn't
The
mean we're
other
going to
thing,
do
the
anything
other
about
thing.
Hold on, man. Let me get the scripture, man. This bitch, fucking clamorous, dumb bitch. Yeah, this is Proverbs 9:13, man. He said, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house, at the seat in the high place of the city. Yeah, well, yeah, man, because we're going into being a whore. But listen, man, this bitch don't know shit, man. She sit up here on this panel, man. They done picked her out of a hat. You know what I'm saying? And put her on this panel, bro. Which really she shouldn't even fucking be there. You know, she don't know a motherfucking thing, man. All right, let me get some more.
The thing that is obviously true is they understand racism when you see things like the murder of Medgar Evers, like the murder of Martin Luther King. They understand racism
And
just
what
fine.
did they...
These motherfuckers up here defending fucking crackers, man. Our people fucked up. All these motherfuckers are, man, all of them are erudite, man. Wait until you see this old fucking coon ass nigga over here on the right.
They understand us gaining just fine, and that's why murder happened.
Based on
right?
what?
So the idea that somehow a white person can't
That's why they lacking knowledge.
understand
man.
our struggle.
Hell no,
I
white
care less
person
what
can't
they
understand your
understand. I'm
struggle.
asking you what have...
Come on, man. Shit. Man, come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Okay. We get some more scriptures, man. Cause cause Umar is bro. He's knowledgeable in this world's knowledge, man. Okay, I give him that. But that brother needs to he need to meet the elders, man, brother, cause you're not there, man. You don't have it, you know. All right, let me see. Go back. Uh, mm, okay, hold on. Slack it. Slack it. I step up on that fucking fan, man. Shit got my fucking sinuses fucked up. Okay. Okay, it should be a Romans. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait a minute. I thought I was in Romans. Okay. Okay, let's just put this in here. A W. A-T-G. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on. Where's that? Okay. Alright. No, I can't find it. Shit.
He did not tell me
Oh, yes,
that.
you did tell me that.
We're back with Dr. Umar.
Be a liar and you're cool. Well, G will be 8/21/18.
Okay.
Or if at all, it may be delayed to 8/21/19, which is the anniversary of the Nat Turner War.
We say looking for a school Why not start a charter school? I mean, you can start a school.
Because charter schools are owned by the state, and I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe what is to be done for black people must be done by black people. Why do I want a charter school?
So you want a private school?
Exactly. Independent school.
Lauren.
So the question of interracial marriage, I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
come on, man. You're too smart for this. We got 43.
Smart for what?
We got 43 million black people in this country.
And that
we got
means
over
what?
190 million white people. You're gonna sit here and say that if
you
a
got half
black
the
person
black-
and a white person get married, a black person and a white person get married, one can't understand the other person's struggle. You've seen
It's not
Tim
about
Wise, right?
individualism.
You've seen
It's
Reverend
about
Wallace. You've seen
systematic
white people who
empowerment.
understand racism
System-
very well.
That doesn't
The
mean we're
other
going to
thing,
do anything
the other
about
thing
it.
that is obviously
Well,
true is they understand racism when you see things like the murder of Medgar Evers, like the murder of Martin Luther King. They understand racism
and
just
what
fine.
did they do
They
about it?
understand us gaining just fine, and that's why murder happened.
Based on
right?
what?
So the idea that somehow a white person can't understand our struggle,
I
no
could
way.
care less what they understand. I'm
No
asking
way.
you, what have they done systematically
He already
to
told you
improve
that.
the opportunities
He
of
already
white folk?
told you
He
that.
did not tell
Oh,
me
yes,
that.
you did tell
He
tell
did
you
not
that.
tell me that.
You're going to tell me that guys like Tim Wise and Reverend Wallace don't understand
What about
race in
Tim
America?
Wise?
They don't understand race
He
in America?
articulates
They don't
racism,
so
but
all,
what has he done to
there are no white
systematically
people that understand race in
eliminate it?
America?
There's not a
white
white
people.
person
There's
in
no white
America.
people that understand race in America.
There's not a white person.
Them going to Eugene.
There's not a white person in America who has ever worked to systematically eliminate the white privilege that they benefit from vis-a-vis your oppression. You're lying.
You know,
Eugene,
190 million people in America.
Eugene.
We're not going to go there. We're not. I haven't.
Called me a liar, and you're cool.
Well, it's a fact that
Watch
you're
how you
lying.
talk
It's
to
a
me,
fact
but
that
watch
you're
how I
lying.
talk
It's
to
a
you.
fact that you're
I
lying.
understand you.
To say that.
No, everybody, 1 second. Several things I don't allow. I don't allow the N-word. I don't allow coon. We can talk to one another and disagree, but I do not use racial epithets against
And
black
that's
people.
fine, but he called me a liar.
No.
So the language needs to be watched on both
Racial
sides.
epithets will not be used on this show
And that's fine.
by anybody.
But how we talk to each
but
other needs
you
to
can
be
say
up.
whatever you want, but no racial epithets will be used on this show about black people to black people. Eugene, your question.
So, from your paradigm, from your perspective, civil rights act isn't an act of white folk stepping up on behalf of black folk. Current criminal justice reform legislation movement isn't a current act of white folk stepping on behalf of black folk. Folk that funded the civil rights movement
This nigga
in
here.
the 50s and 60s isn't an act of white folk stepping up on behalf of black folk. I'm sorry, as an American, because I define myself as an American, an African American.
Sure you do.
I live in a country that moves forward together. I say that as a Republican. We move.
That motherfucker said, "I'm sure you do," but he's not in. He's in the same boat, man, because he calls himself an African. But this nigga said, "I consider myself an African American." A prime example of a fucking coon, man. He got off on. He was spot on calling that nigga a fucking coon, because that's what he was. And like I said, Umar Johnson, look, bro, hey, you better come on to this knowledge, man. I mean, Lord willing, man. Hey, you haven't ran into the apostles yet, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. Yeah, but man, this thing, man, you hit a lot of good points, and you are a studier, but you got the knowledge of this world, man. You are erudite to the 10th power. All right, watch a little bit more of this, man. I'm gonna get some scriptures.
Move forward together. Yes, we have individual struggle. Yes, we have struggle.
This motherfucker here.
Yes, no. Yes, we have systematic. We have systematic.
Finish it 15 seconds.
We have systematic struggles, and together as a country, moving forward to defeat those struggles.
Really? So, based on what you said, I want you to give me examples of white folk, not individuals, but systematically. Excuse me.
Why can't they be individuals?
I know you can't wait to finish, but let me finish.
1 second answer.
Can I finish?
Go.
Okay, I'm going. Okay? You cannot name anything systematically done ever in this country by white people to equal the playing field for black folks.
The Civil Rights Act, Congress literally sits behind us. The Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act.
Are you
Both of
aware?
them.
Are you aware?
Hey, can I
Both of them.
White people are proud of you, son.
Scott Bolden.
Quick. I think the terminology and the narrative being used is a little misleading, not from you, but from this dialogue right here.
Okay.
It's one thing to sympathize with the struggle. It's another one to empathize with the struggle. Very different. When you talk about marriage being a political choice, and that one of the arguments that you made that I tend to agree with is that if you don't marry a black woman, then she can never support and comfort and value your day-to-day struggle as a black man. That being said, I do think that the level of the rhetoric that you use in regard to your Pan-Africanism is difficult for many of us, quote, in the mainstream to get our arms around. But this issue about black men and white women in the civil rights struggle is not a new discussion. My mother was a civil rights activist in Chicago, and she would often complain privately that, one, you can't sleep black, you can't sleep white and talk black, if you will. And that's always been in the American struggle, African-American struggle with ourselves. The other thing is that we struggle with our own psychology about self-love and otherwise. And if we get our arms around that, that does make sense.
Okay. But you would have to say that you know 190 million people.
But you're being too...
One second.
You would have to claim that.
Individuals don't matter.
You'd have to claim that.
No, go ahead and respond. Go ahead.
And I agree with my brother's comments. Brother Scott, he brought up the Civil Rights Bill. But what he did not talk about in relation to the Civil Rights Bill is there were two words included in that bill that ultimately served to take away from black people what that bill was intended to deliver. They added gender and they added sexual orientation. And as a result of that, white women and homosexuals have been able to strip black America from the intended gains of the Civil Rights Act. So there was still racism in that bill if you will study that history.
But Umar, your question was, has anyone black ever systematically done, has anyone white ever systematically done anything?
Systematically.
Fight
America.
So LBJ would be the answer for that, because that's the government.
No, I don't think you heard the question.
That's a systematic move.
No, you didn't hear the question.
No,
you did not. No, you didn't.
Yeah,
you're so quick to defend white people that you're not listening.
No, I'm not trying to
I
defend
only
white
have
folks.
45 seconds, so restate the question and give the answer. I got 45 seconds.
Let's get an answer.
The question was, what has white America done?
Right.
Not individuals. Systematically. You won't even let me finish.
Yeah, because
you're that in love with white folks, you won't even let me finish.
Point on everything.
Finish literally 20 seconds.
There is no bigger system than
20 seconds, I'll finish. And then 20 seconds, I would say that the panel that you have here, who are extremely intelligent, do not represent the everyday black man and woman struggles, and then because of that, they can articulate.
And you represent 43 million people in this country? I don't think so.
Weekdays on TV1. I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
Man, that nigga Roland Martin is a faggot. Yeah, man. Anyway, I found it. It's let's see. Romans 10:2. Yeah, man, because this man, bro, these niggas, they have knowledge in the world, man. They and they can't help but be like they are. They can't help it. Because Esau's educational system actually it makes them like that. Because I know the apostle hit that scripture, knowledge puffeth up, you know. All right, he said, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. Now, all of them that's on that panel that I know, some shape or form, they go to church. Umar Johnson's stand, I'm really not sure what he believes. You know, he's Pan-Africanist, so I know I've heard him talk about the Christian church and all of that shit. But I know he, some type of way, he seems to be, he tries to come off as a spiritual person. But again, him going off into that Pan-Africanism, man, is just going, it's just off, man. And just face it, man, he's in this for the money. You know, or trying to have some type of platform, because, like I said, you know, I haven't heard that I haven't heard of Umar Johnson via 2006. Man, he may have been out, man, but when the apostles came out and started teaching, man, you had this new thing of all of these people started to come out, man, and be pro black and all of this shit, man. Eric Dyson, I forgot his name, but he made his platform off of a lot of shit with Tupac, you know what I'm saying? He's hella puffed up, man. You see him speak, man, that dude is fucking gone. You know? Yeah, man, so they being ignorant of for they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, having not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the power. Right, because they're not going to submit to the righteousness of the Yahweh Shah, because even when he speaks on the Christian church, he's talking about when you say Christian, when you speak on the Christian church, man, you coming off as Cesare Borgia, okay? Because they won't go in depth in the scriptures because they know not the scriptures, man. The scriptures are spiritually discerned. Okay, let me get that. 1 Corinthians. You your brothers bear with me, man. I'm getting my phone, getting better with the phone, bro. 1 Corinthians. Shit. That's why I still like my scriptures, man. I'm old school. Okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 1:19. He said, "For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent." Right, because like the apostle said, man, they are being erudite because you have all this knowledge of something that's vain. The teachings of this world is nothing, man. You thinking that you got, and it's all vain because it comes to naught. Them up there arguing on that panel about who the white man helped, which that's never gonna happen, man. The white man is not for you. That's the only thing I probably can agree with Umar Johnson on, man. The motherfucker has never done nothing systematically to help you. Everything they done systematically was actually to destroy you. It was to put a snare. That civil rights bill it was some bullshit, man. And if you go anybody with common sense, or not even common sense, but anybody with any spiritual knowledge, man, will see that this devil has never been put in place, man, to help you. All right. He said, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputers of this world? Right? It's not certainly not them. Have not the power made foolish the wisdom of this world, which it is, man. For after that, in the wisdom of the power, the world by wisdom knew not the power. Right? Because when you go to college, man, and you get knowledge of these school systems and shit, it puffs you up. Right? And it what? Through the puff, through you getting being erudite and you getting puffed up, man, then you don't care. You're thinking that this is all done upon yourself. Pride sets in because you're thinking that you have gotten all this knowledge on your own. You're not going to regard the Yahweh Shah. You're not going to regard because it's a self righteous. This is a self. Sluggy. This is a self righteous generation, man. When we do things, we think we've done it all on our own. All right, and that's how this society thrives, man. All right, so that's why the Lord is going to destroy the wisdom of this world, which is already destroyed, man. The language is fucked up. Hell, you go to any social media site, man. They actually talking in pictures now, man. The language, his own language, has went back to the hieroglyphics, man. So the deterioration of your language. So what does it matter about going to all of these colleges when you don't have you motherfuckers don't even go and finish in high school, man? America is the dumbest fucking country it is, man. You go to any other country, man, these people know more of history than the people of America because America teaches to dumb their people down, man. It was a video I watched a guy had went around asking people who was the president, who was the first president of America, who was the president at the present time, and these motherfuckers didn't know. But then he went to ask some foreigners, and they knew more. They knew more about this country than the people that live in this country, man. That's actually supposed to so-called be American people, man. That's how Yahweh Shah is making foolishness of this world's wisdom, man. All right. So, yeah, let me see. I wanted to get 2 more scriptures. I gotta start writing this down. Anyway, man, you know what? This is a little quick hit, man. I want to just touch on this video, man. I really wanted to do a little bit more in depth, man, but this is just a little quick something, man. Because I seen the apostles' video, man, about being erudite, man, which that was a good video to express, to show how erudite this fucking country is, man. You know, because these niggas go to school, man, and we see them all the time, man. The brothers go out and teach, man, on highways and byways, man. We always get a fucking nigga that come up, man. It just so-called tries to know something, man. You know? All right, with that, man, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, man. Hey, man, Salakia for the little gaps in the video, man. There should be more to come, man. It won't be as gappy. I'm gonna try to prepare myself a little better. All right. All right, with that, double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, in who the truth resides. Hey, man, peace and blessing be multiplied unto the Akim, to the elect first, and all you Akim that's laboring in this thing, man. All right, shalom.